Have you ever achieved something really impressive on paper, but inside it felt really hollow? Maybe you hit the sales target or got the promotion or reached the salary level that you thought would make you happy, but something just still feels off. Well, today we're talking about reframing how you measure success. So let me share a story from my own past experiences. I was in my corporate role and I was crushing all the traditional metrics. I was hitting my revenue goals, making my cost cuts, improving customer loyalty, but I didn't feel like I was personally crushing it. In fact, I was fatigued, I was uninspired, I was anxious, and I was battling some health issues. So, how is it that I could be so thriving in one area of my life and feel exactly the opposite in another? Now, to make it even more challenging, I wasn't exactly sure why I was feeling this way, which left me stuck. Thanks to my Six Sigma background, I had already defined that the problem was I felt like I was hanging on by a thread. So I knew that the next step was to measure. And to get me started, I began tracking my energy levels in the morning, afternoon, and at night. This simple measurement was incredibly enlightening. And interestingly enough, sometimes my most successful days by corporate standards scored lowest on my personal scale. And this forced me to confront an important truth. I was living by somebody else's success metrics, not my own. And that realization really became a turning point. So today, I want to spark that same change for you. So let's explore how to let go of external scorecards and embrace success on our own terms. So why does rethinking success metrics even matter? Well, it's not so different from success scorecards at work. Sometimes they're too narrow and only focus on specific outcomes. We might see one KPI improve while everything else falls apart in the background. So to live a fulfilling life, we have to avoid 3 common traps when it comes to measuring success. Number 1, the numbers obsession. So this happens when we focus solely on quantifiable metrics. It's the feeling of needing the numbers to look good for everyone else's validation, even if something is falling apart beneath the surface. At work, this might mean meeting your revenue targets, but ignoring the burnout it's causing you or the team. And in your personal life, it could show up as achievements that society praises, like 6-figure income or buying your dream home, but quietly you're feeling depleted or unfulfilled. The problem with numbers obsession is that we ignore the qualitative impact of what we're doing. What's the actual experience of reaching those metrics? Life isn't just about quantifiable wins. It's also about meaning and joy. Number 2, the comparison complex. All right, so we've all been guilty of this at some point. The comparison complex creeps in when we measure our progress based on somebody else's milestones. Are you aiming for industry benchmarks because they're meaningful to you, or because that's what everyone says you should be doing? Are you scrolling through social media thinking, wow, man, their life looks so perfect, and then quietly wondering, why doesn't yours stack up? I was once asked a very powerful question by a colleague. He said, Michelle, are we playing to play? Are we playing to win? Or are we playing not to lose? That question hit me hard because often comparison makes us play not to lose instead of striving authentically for what we deeply desire. Your personal circumstances, values, and priorities, they matter, and success isn't one size fits all. Number 3, the short-term syndrome. How often do you focus on urgent results so heavily that you sacrifice long-term growth? I call it the guardrail to guardrail metrics approach because it's all about reacting to immediate demands without thinking holistically. For example, at work, it could mean meeting aggressive quarterly goals while neglecting to invest in sustainable strategies. In your personal life, it might look like hustling so hard to fix today's problems that you never create space for the future that you want to build. And when we chase short-term wins at the expense of our long-term well-being, we risk burnout, regret, and feeling completely disconnected from ourselves. True success is about creating metrics that honor our priorities, values, and vision for the future. It's not about what looks good to everybody else. It's about what feels right to you. So let's reimagine a success scorecard with metrics that actually matter. And I invite you to consider these 5 personal elements of success. Number 1, your balance indicators. Ask yourself, am I in harmony? This element of success ensures that the key areas of your life and work, your wellness, your relationships, your spirituality, and your play coexist peacefully. You don't have to give them equal attention every day, but they need to feel aligned over time. When one area overwhelms the others, imbalance seeps in. So harmony doesn't happen by chance. It is something we must measure and nurture intentionally. Number 2, relationship quality measures. Your relationships influence your energy, mood, and fulfillment even more than you might realize. So ask yourself, are the people in my life draining or energizing me? And more importantly, how are you showing up in those relationships? For example, are you able to be present with the people you love, or are you always distracted? Do you feel connected, supported, and valued in your friendships, family, and romantic relationships? Number 3, value alignment. This is where purpose comes into play. Are your actions and goals aligned with what truly matters to you? For example, if one of your core values is kindness, but you're in an environment that feels cutthroat or disingenuous, you'll feel out of sync. Success feels most fulfilling when it's rooted in values that you actively uphold in your everyday life. Number 4, vitality markers. So this focuses on how you feel physically, emotionally, and mentally. Vitality is the foundation of a good life. And if you're constantly tired, anxious, or unwell, even the grandest achievements will feel empty. So ask yourself questions like, how's my energy today? Am I addressing my emotional and mental needs? Am I prioritizing time to rest and recharge whenever I need it? Number 5, your evolution indicators. Are you learning and growing and challenging yourself? Growth mindset is critical to fulfillment, and it's so easy to get stuck in routines or let your curiosity fade. But when you check in with your own evolution, whether you're acquiring new skills, embracing new challenges, or simply expanding your worldview, life feels so much more expansive and rewarding. And to support your journey in making some behavioral shifts, I've created a downloadable personal success dashboard. This is just there to help you tune into how you're feeling holistically and identify areas where you're thriving and in those areas where you need a little bit of attention. To take this a step even further, I invite you to participate in this week's BraveLife challenge. The challenge is, using the template, create your own personal success dashboard for the week. Choose 3 metrics or maybe all of them from the list that resonate most with you, and then track them daily for a week. Reflect on what you discover. And I would love for you to share your insights in the comments, because I can't wait to hear what you uncover. Remember, no one else gets to define your success. The only metrics that matter are the ones that help you live a life that is aligned, intentional, and uniquely fulfilling to you. So if this resonated with you, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And don't forget to join my newsletter for more free tools, exclusive tips, and deeper insights on creating a life that lights you up. So until next time, live brave.